This is Retiring Today, the podcast that guides you to and through retirement. I'm Molly Nelson, host of the podcast, here with Jack Henry. He is the producer of our podcast, and Chawn Honkomp. Chawn is a certified financial planner, a certified financial fiduciary, a retirement income certified professional, and a CPA. So a customized retirement plan. You've heard us talk about it on this podcast a lot. Today we want to drill down and tell you, what does it mean? We explain why a customized plan is the only way to go when it comes to your retirement. So guys, on the subject of customization, I just had something happen in my life that fits the bill for this conversation so well, and it's this. So I recently learned how great customization is. Long story short, ordered a vanity from a box store, came with a warped door, sent it back, ordered a second vanity that said, oh, we'll replace it, came with a warped door again, and then I decided, no, I want my money back, went to the local place in Fort Dodge, picked out a custom vanity. I got to choose the wood, the countertop, the bowl shape, the handles, the stain finish. Fun process, and by the way, the product has recently been hung up in my bathroom, you guys, and my custom vanity is absolutely beautiful. I don't know why. I learned the hard way on that one. A lot of times, customization is the way to go.
Definitely. I have kind of a similar story where my friends and I, we like to play video games. You know, we're young guys. Video games are a part of our little community we have. And to play games nowadays, developers put a lot of work into these games and they take a lot of equipment to run them. So I tried to play some video games on my family's laptop. The laptop almost exploded, and I decided maybe I should invest in a piece of machinery to actually get this done.
Sure.
So
you're probably not getting first place on the family laptop, are you?
No, I'm definitely not. So similar to your story, I went in and I picked out all my own computer parts, and I built it myself with my own budget, with my own, hardware constraints, and I made something that worked just for me. And I had a similar satisfaction as you did.
Chawn, I know you're making a lot of decisions right now because you're currently building a house.
Yeah, a really fun experience that my wife and I and the kids, of course, chipping in with their opinions is, we have bought a lot.
But not their wallets, though, by the way. The
no,
kids,
not at all.
They always have opinions about what we should do around the house, but never money.
Everything's a yes to them, right? We should say yes to everything. So, but yeah, we did buy a lot. We're remaining in Clive, so it's not too far of a move. We're not changing school districts or anything, but we bought a lot. And right now we're deep in the process of plan design and trying to build out the house and make all these different decisions. And it's a lot of fun. I mean, we get to build the layout that we want and identify, where we are in our stage of life, what's important to us, and what exactly we want to have. So for example, one non-negotiable for me is a workout room. I've got that in my current house.
Sure.
That's not something I'm going to give on. So we absolutely are making sure that we have a workout room. And then my wife, Ryan, she gets to pick out some of her non-negotiables as well.
I'm assuming
so.
Ryan has a few non-negotiables.
Yeah, she's got some ideas. And again, where we are at in our stage of life, we're really excited about it. We believe it's going to be perfect, but we're having a fun experience with it, and it's going to turn out great.
And customization, a lot of times in life, is the way to go when you can. And when it comes to retirement planning, Chawn, that's no different.
Yeah, the customization is important depending on whether or not something is important to you. So when it comes to retirement, I believe that all of you out there, everybody is thinking and believing that is important to us. This is a stage of life that you've never been to before, once you're able to retire. And almost everybody out there, if not everybody, only wants to go through that stage of life once. So when you're dealing and facing with something that important, customization can be really valuable to help you be in the best position to achieve all of your retirement goals.
I think sometimes it's hard, though, to get to that point where you realize you need a custom anything. So like with your gaming system, you're going to try it on the laptop first. Why not? That's what's available. That's what's easier. That's what's maybe even cheaper. You might try the vanity from the box store first, because I ordered it online on a Sunday night and that was easy and convenient. But with retirement, you don't want to try something that's easy, convenient, or just like your neighbors first, because this is one of those things you really want to only do one time.
Yeah, it just makes me think about maybe the different stages of what might get you to having a retirement plan. I mean, we all first start working, we save into a 401k plan, we use that retirement vehicle to save. And then maybe at some stage of life, you might work with an insurance agent or a an investment advisor to start making further decisions. But then now as you approach retirement, you've got to start thinking about all these things you're facing, and at some point decide, are you looking for a retirement plan, and then do you choose to establish a relationship with a retirement planner?
Chawn, I think sometimes people may not think they deserve a custom retirement plan, but you find that's not really the case.
Yeah, we have a lot of different conversations with people, and we work with families of all different sizes. Part of our mission statement is that we want to help as many households as possible achieve retirement success. And we work with lots of individuals and households that just have a few $100,000 saved, and we work with lots of households and individuals that have a few million saved. And regardless of what that picture looks like, having that retirement plan can be really valuable, can be really helpful. The biggest thing it provides to people is confidence. You've got a lot of decisions that you're going to be facing for the first time. And you're at this new stage of life, and now having that retirement plan can be really helpful as you face these various questions across the 6 components that we focus on. You're going to have to develop an income plan out of the various assets you've saved. You want to be, tax efficient, so you're going to be now wanting to develop a tax plan along with the various other components that are going to be now a part of the stage of life that you're at.
And though the components are the same, the way that we apply them to each individual we work with, or if it's a household, is different. And I know you've been doing this for quite some time now, and I can almost say for you with certainty that no 2 retirement plans that you've ever built look the same.
It's exactly the customization, which is the topic of this podcast. Every single plan for every individual and household that we work with is unique to them. There are no 2 plans that are the same. We work with around 550 to 600 households currently, and every single one of them is different. I know for a fact that no 2 plans have the same exact amount of total retirement savings while having the same exact amount of Social Security or lifestyle, or retirement goals. Every one of them is unique to everybody's own situation, and that's where the customization is so critical, because not everybody's going to face the same questions. And having this plan, what it provides for you is it helps provide the information that we all need so that we can make really smart, informed decisions with the various retirement questions that you're going to be facing.
Let's talk about some of the decisions that you help families make and what customization really looks like. First, let's dive into Social Security, because a lot of people probably think, hey, 62, I can elect, 70 if I wait. There's not much in between, but that's not the case.
Yeah, the goal with electing Social Security is try to maximize that assets. For a lot of people, you don't put Social Security on your financial statement, so you don't necessarily consider it an asset because it isn't a benefit that you've saved into. But after working for 20, 30, 40 years throughout your career, you've definitely earned that benefit, and that is one of your assets. So we're trying to maximize Social Security. And the typical window, like you said, Molly, is anywhere from age 62 all the way out to age 70. There's no benefit to delaying it later or beyond age 70. So without that customization, a lot of people will just say, hey, at age 62, I have an opportunity to make this decision. I can turn this benefit on. I can start receiving this money, so let's do it. And for a lot of people that they may just feel like, hey, the best decision is to turn it on as soon as you can. And there's some factors in there that certainly support that. Start getting it while you can. You never know how long you're going to live. But with the goal of trying to maximize that Social Security, that's where we need to have that plan. So with Social Security only being one of your assets, we need to factor in the entire picture of what your financial picture and what the overall retirement plan looks like. Try to analyze what the different options make your plan look like. So if you were to elect at 62, what does your plan look like throughout a 30 or 40-year retirement? What if you waited until your full retirement age? Or what if you do wait until age 70? You want that information so that you understand what the differences are, what it means to you, so that you can make the custom decision and elect Social Security at the best time for your plan.
In the online Journey to Retirement workshop, you and Lauren and our Director of Medicare, Anna Marie Morrow, you really outlined this in a very specific example. And I was just looking at the example again that you guys give, and there is about an $80,000 difference you show 4 elections that this couple makes, John and Sue, a fictitious couple. You take them on this journey to retirement, and there's a big difference in kind of the strategies that you outline in the workshop.
Yeah, for a married couple, you have up to 81 different options on when to elect Social Security, which can feel very overwhelming. In this Journey to Retirement workshop, we walk through just a couple of the examples or election options that John and Sue have. And like you said, Molly, in one of the scenarios versus a different one, John and Sue get more than $83,000 of additional income. And I think that can be a meaningful part of somebody's retirement. Everybody out there would elect to choose or receive an additional $80,000 during their retirement if they could. So you've got to understand the different options and what they mean to your plan and feel really confident about the election that you ultimately decide to proceed with.
If you want to see this election strategy that we're talking about, you can sign up for our online Journey to Retirement workshop by going to retirewithmerkle.com. There you'll choose a time and a date that works for you. You sign up for the workshop, and what happens is you're gonna meet John and Sue, the fictitious couple. You'll also meet Chawn, Lauren, and Anna Marie, and they'll take you on the journey. They'll show you all of the decisions that are facing you as you head toward retirement, and then you'll see some of the strategies as well. And the Social Security strategy is right there in the workshop. And Chawn, not only will people learn a lot about Social Security, they'll learn a lot about a lot of other decisions that are coming when it comes to retirement.
Yeah, we cover all the 6 components that are part of our retirement planning process. So the Social Security decision is part of that income plan, which is where now you have to build your retirement income out of all the different assets that you've accumulated. We are going to help you build a tax plan. Everybody out there wants to pay less in total taxes throughout their retirement. So we've got to factor in some of those income plan decisions that impact the tax plan. You know, it's the investment planning that most people get to this stage of life and want to take a little less risk. So we've got to help you be more intentional about designing your portfolio and making investment decisions. And then we've got the healthcare, which is Anna Marie's expertise. We've got the legacy planning, and we've got the lifestyle planning. So we talk about all those components and help give you more information so that you really feel really confident heading into retirement.
When people are thinking about that Social Security election, Chawn, I don't think they automatically go to what's happening in the stock market, but you find that sometimes when helping people put together a customized plan, you actually are kind of looking at what's happening in the markets.
So hopefully all of you out there, you have kind of a target retirement date, and you've got part of that vision laid out for yourself. So if your goal was to retire at age 62, and we happen to get to your age 62, and the markets happen to be in a downturn, in a recession, and it might position you where we don't necessarily want to take a bunch of, a larger amount of distributions out of your market accounts while they're down. That can be something that is outside of your control. We know the market's going to go up, market's going to go down. But having that overall plan, and it happens to be that you retire at a down market, that can lead to different decisions. And part of that customization is that maybe you weren't planning to elect Social Security at the time of retirement at 62, but because of the market conditions at that time, it might lead to a different decision. And that's a decision we made a lot with families, and we end up electing Social Security potentially at a younger age because of some of these outside factors.
Yeah, so I'm hearing you say go ahead and elect Social Security while you sit and let some of those investments grow and enjoy the uptick of the market, because what we do know generally is the market goes down, but it usually comes back up historically. So there's really overall more return potential there maybe.
Yeah, those are exactly some of the decisions that we've made, because again, everybody's retirement timing and retirement plan is unique to them. You can't control whether the markets happen to be up or down at the time of your retirement. If you've had that plan for a while, you're still going to feel confident about making that retirement decision and doing it at the age and the right time that you feel good about. And then we've got to make these other decisions with the best information we have available to us at that time.
You also touched on something else important there. So let's stick with this scenario. Let's pretend that you had this person who wanted to retire at 62. Maybe you met them at 55, 56, 57, kind of the ideal time to start working on some of these strategies. You set up that they wouldn't elect Social Security, let's say till 66, but you change the plan. I guess what I'm getting at is that it's not hey, you sit down with Chawn or one of the retirement planners one time at 55 and then we don't touch the plan. You're watching not only what's happening with the stock market, you're watching tax legislation, you're watching a lot of things for them and then saying, hey, we may want to tweak what we decided a couple of years ago.
Yeah, you can have the best laid plans out there, but the most important part of having that retirement plan is the execution. So having the plans provides a lot of confidence and comfort and clarity, but then we know life's going to happen. And one big aspect of life happening can be health situations. So as we get new information, a health situation, we're all one doctor visit away from having a different outlook on life. And that's something we deal with a lot in our industry, and specifically with our focus on retirement planning. So we've dealt with a number of, couples or individuals that a health update can lead to a different decision. So when it comes to Social Security, we've seen a lot of times where maybe we were planning on waiting until for retirement age, or trying to let Social Security grow as much as possible and delay until age 70. But as we get new information, we've got to update the plan and lead to different decisions. So we have elected Social Security sooner than originally planned as a result of health situations in a number of cases.
And I suspect, so you change the Social Security plan, and does that trickle down to changing the investment plan, the income plan, the tax plan? Is there a lot of other pieces then that you are shuffling around in their plan?
There is a lot of overlap between those 6 components. And as we make different decisions with the plan, we've got to understand how it impacts all those other pieces of the plan. So that's common. Again, we have the baseline plan built. We help you build that retirement plan. And then we've got to execute. And every passing day, every year, we have more information. You're going to have a stronger plan. You have that much more comfort and confidence in what your long-term plan is going to look like. And as we make new decisions, we definitely have to understand the overall impact to the plan, and it may lead to some different decisions and changes in some of the other components of the plan.
Another example of customization, you sit down with families all the time and help them make pension election decisions.
Another important part of the income planning is the pensions, just like we talked about with Social Security. So with most pensions, a lot of them will provide a monthly annuity option as well as a lump sum option. Some pensions only provide that monthly payment stream. So if you only have the payment stream option, that limits the options that you have, and maybe it can make that decision a little easier. But even when you only have the monthly annuity option, typically you have a lot of different options within that option. And what I mean there is...
Say option one more time.
Yes, I think I can fit it in a couple more times, and I probably will. You can pick a single life option, or you can do some survivorship, or you can have a certain, a dedicated time frame to elect that pension from. So there's still a lot of analysis that needs to be done. I mean, you want to fit this pension benefit within your overall plan in the best way possible. You need to consider what your plan is for Social Security so that you can feel really good about that pension decision as well. So, but for the other pensions, for the other pensions that provide you with a lump sum option or the monthly option, well, now you've got to do even more analysis and understand, well, do you like the guaranteed monthly benefit better, or do you like the lump sum option better where you have maybe more control? And there is no one size fits all with that. You've got to do the analysis and make the election option that you feel the best about.
And people are finding too that lump sum payment amount changes based on interest rates, based on what's going on with the company that manages that. We did an entire podcast on this decision. Should I consider a lump sum payout? If this pertains to you, I would urge you to listen to podcast number 133. Haley Gutchenreiter, one of our retirement planners, she tells you a story of, again, another example of customization where she helped an individual make the decision, and when the lump sum payout price tag went down, kind of how to make that full analysis and when to retire. It's a really good story, and there is a lot to learn if you have a pension decision ahead of you.
Yeah, that's another great example of something that's outside of our control. None of us individually can affect the interest rate environment that happens to be present at the time you have an opportunity to make a decision within your plan.
Let's talk about Roth conversions. You just Google Roth conversions, you read about Roth conversions, Chawn. There is a lot of information out there, and I think some misinformation as well. And this is definitely one of those strategies that can help a lot of people, but this has to be looked at very carefully and with a lot of other factors considered before you go ahead and make a Roth conversion.
Roth conversions are part of the tax planning component of your overall retirement plan. And really the goal there is to help you pay the least amount of taxes possible throughout your retirement journey and even beyond. And what I mean by when I say beyond is part of your legacy plan. So if you're going to pass along some assets, you want to be thinking about what type of tax assets that are being passed so that your beneficiaries can be in the best position possible.
Let's remind people again what a Roth conversion is.
Yeah, the Roth conversion is when we take some of the pre-tax retirement savings, we pick them up, we slide them over, drop them down in a Roth IRA or some sort of Roth account. Whatever amount we do convert in a given year shows up as taxable income for you for that year. And the customization here is really identifying what your tax picture looks like in any given year. So we help people build the long-term tax plan so that we have a sense of what future tax rates look like, what future taxable income potentially looks like specifically for your situation, so that we can make the best decision possible each and every year. Let's pay the least amount of taxes possible. Nobody out there has told me they want to tip the IRS, right? Everybody's comfortable and feels good about paying their fair share, but nobody wants to pay more than they have to when it comes to taxes.
Yeah, you're looking very closely too at those tax brackets.
Yeah, we want to specifically identify or quantify the conversion opportunity that makes the most sense for you. So if we know you're going to have X amount of taxable income and that's halfway up through a given tax bracket, well, the opportunity is, should we show that much more income so that we're fully using the marginal tax bracket that you're in? If you deem that to be a marginal tax rate, well, then that's something we should strongly consider taking advantage of in a given year. And one thing we hear a lot is that people feel like when we do qualified rollovers, which is really just moving money from one custodian to another, maybe it's moving money from your 401k out to an IRA, a lot of people think that, well, we're doing a Roth conversion on all of that. That's not what we do. First and foremost, it's really just about doing the qualified rollover to get that money out to an IRA. And then we want to be very intentional about the exact amount that we would consider converting in a given year. We would never just convert an entire account. That isn't customized. That probably doesn't make the most sense for you. We want to identify a specific amount each and every year where you can be tax efficient.
When you're talking about a qualified rollover, you're talking about generally when people are 59 and a half, they can take that money out of their 401k and it's not a taxable distribution. Then they can roll it into an IRA. There's a lot of advantages generally to that.
Yeah, once you can get access to your retirement savings, it's moving money from the employer plans out to IRAs, which now can be part of your plan. And maybe you've got a junk drawer of investments out there where you've got multiple IRAs. Well, now, when you start a relationship with someone like us, a retirement planner, we can consolidate, which also feels really good as you get into this retirement stage of life. So you may consolidate 401ks or various IRAs, and that itself is not the taxable event. That just simply is cleaning up that junk drawer of investment and making things just that much more clear as you head into retirement or continue your retirement journey.
And then the Roth conversion could be part of that IRA. Generally, you're not going to roll that entire IRA in 1 year anyways into a Roth, but you'll take that's where that real customization of let's take X amount this year, maybe X amount next year, and look at your tax picture for both of those years.
Exactly right. And that's where the tax planning part of our process is so valuable. I mean, the tax planning is something we do each and every year. And we're going to be implementing and executing the tax plan every single year throughout your retirement journey. I mean, some decisions we make are one and done, but the tax plan, I can't stress enough how important that is and how valuable it can be to your retirement journey.
There's an eye-opening tax example in the online Journey to Retirement workshop. Wow, when you lay that one out for people, they can really see how this tax planning can put more money into their pockets. It's about a 6-figure savings for John and Sue with a long-term tax plan?
Yeah, if you have that long-term tax plan, we can get a good sense of what your future taxable income might be. We can get a good sense of what future tax rates are going to be. And if you implement this long-term tax plan each and every year throughout your retirement journey, we see with a lot of our plans potential 6 figures in tax savings. And that's not even assuming that the tax rates go up. We're just assuming the current tax rates because that's all we know right now. But if tax rates do go up, which is what the current tax law is already set to do, and is also what most of you out there believe is going to happen to tax rates, well, then that potential savings is going to be even bigger than what we can illustrate now.
To see the tax example that we're talking about, you can sign up for our online Journey to Retirement workshop. Again, that website is retirewithmerkle.com. There is a link in our show notes. Sign up for a time and date that works for you, and you can see the Social Security election strategy, the tax savings strategy, and a lot more there. Chawn, another example of that customization too is making sure that the families and individuals that you sit down with know why they're invested where they are. They don't have to understand every single nuance of the investment. Of course, yes, you can explain it because you live and breathe it. But if they have a certain life insurance or income investment or they're in a certain, part of the market, they know why they're there and how it helps them live out their retirement vision.
A core philosophy of the decisions that we try to help our families make is transparency, and whether that is around the insurance coverages that you might have in place, whether that's life insurance or long-term care, or when it comes to the investments. So as we help you make investment decisions and design your portfolio, you should want that to be transparent. And really what we mean by that is, let's make sure you understand the purpose. Why do you own a certain thing that you own? Why do you have this life insurance? Why do you have disability? We see people a lot of times just own certain investments and they don't remember why, or they don't necessarily even know why they own what they own. So we're trying to stress that transparency. Know exactly what you own, know the purpose, know the fit, how does it fit into your overall retirement plan, know exactly what the cost is, know exactly what the risk is, so that you have a good understanding of how much exposure you're taking on in the markets with your at-risk investments.
There's also a lot of rules around certain investments. It's good to understand when, you can start using that money as income, or if there's a penalty associated with using the money, or if that's more of the money that's going to be in your long-term bucket, you're going to use that later.
Yet another great example of the customization. Everybody's going to start taking out distributions at different stages of life, and you're going to need different amounts at different stages of life. So you do want to be thinking about the rules that are in play so that you don't put yourself into a corner. And a good example of this is for anybody that is positioned to be able to retire younger than age 59 and a half. Well, you need to make sure you have liquidity. In the eyes of the IRS, age 59 and a half is the youngest retirement age. And generally speaking, your retirement balances are not accessible to you without a penalty prior to age 59 and a half. But there are some situations that you can design so that you still do have liquidity and wouldn't be subject to that penalty. And one of the main ones is the rule of 55, where you would want to make sure you leave some of your retirement savings in the 401k plan with the employer that you're retiring from. That provides you with access and liquidity to some retirement assets without being subject to the 10% penalty.
Speaking of investing with a purpose, how do you help families or individuals decide if an annuity is right for them?
When it comes to designing your portfolio and making investment decisions, you should consider everything that's out there. And it goes back to that transparency and purpose. So every investment vehicle out there has pros and cons. I always find myself saying the goods and the bads. So as you make investment decisions, you should understand the fit. If you're considering investing in something, know how it fits in your plan. What good components does that strategy bring to your plan? What bad components does that strategy bring to your plan? That way you have all the information you need and you can make a decision on, does this strategy or investment vehicle fit your plan? Are you okay with the bads such that all of the good components that it brings to your plan help put you in a good position to achieve retirement success? To simplify it, if you have retirement balances, what can you do with it? You can put it at risk, where we know what the markets do. All of you are familiar with that. Markets go up and markets go down. Or you can go out and get safety and guarantees. And the concept of diversification is not new to any of you. We've always diversified within the investment decisions that you've made. Well, now the diversification just can look and feel a little different at this stage of life. It's not so much about diversification in just the markets, meaning large cap, small cap, international, some alternatives. Now it's about diversification of strategies. And what I mean by that is, let's have some of your portfolio at risk, but let's ensure or consider whether or not it makes sense to have some of your portfolio in safety and guarantees. And that's where annuities can fit. A lot of annuities can provide that safety and guarantees. What we typically recommend or see families saying yes to are indexed annuities. Indexed annuities are very simple. They can give you that safety of never going backwards, even when the markets go down, but you get some growth on the upside when the markets are positive. So you can achieve the safety and guarantees by having a diversification of strategies within your overall portfolio.
That was a lot of great information on customization, but guess what? There's more. There are a lot of decisions that go into a journey to retirement. Check out the online Journey to Retirement workshop. There's more to talk about when it comes to healthcare planning. There's Medicare. We didn't even touch on that today. A lot of decisions to make, but those decisions are easier to make if you understand what's coming and also if you have a customized plan. retirewithmerkle.com. That's where you go to sign up for the workshop. That link is in the show notes, and we'll continue talking about all of those aspects of a customized retirement plan on this podcast. It's Retiring Today, and we thank you for listening. Merkle Retirement Planning is an independent financial services firm helping individuals create retirement strategies using a variety of investments and insurance products to custom suit their goals and objectives. Any information discussed in these shows is for educational purposes only and should not be construed as investment, tax, or legal advice. Investment advisory services are offered through Elite Retirement Planning LLC. Insurance services are offered through MRP Insurance LLC. Another example of customization.